Yeah. Oh. Oops. Just wrecked the camera. Let's try that again. Hello and welcome back to the Auldsy cast. This is the third episode of me basically waffling into this microphone. My name is Auldsy and I am your host for today. So the last two episodes we've been really going into sort of fear-based things, addressing that fear, understanding what the crack is. Today we're going to change it up just a little bit. I'm going to take a breather from that, but we're still going to talk a little bit about mental health and stuff. We're going to talk about the lovely Steve Vai. So yeah, pretty much I'm going to give my backstory about why I sort of like Steve Vai. And then I really want to talk to you guys about a series that I found, which is by Steve Vai. And I think it can help you in any way, no matter what you're going through in your life, no matter what your story is to tell. I think it'll really, really help. So let's do it. So if you're not a guitar player, you might not know Steve Vai too well. But pretty much Steve Vai is a legendary guitar player, so he is. He does instrumental metal / rock music. He's been on the scene for quite a while. He started off playing in various bands that he joined, for example, David Lee Roth, Frank Zappa, Alcatraz I'm pretty sure he was in, I think. So pretty much I heard Steve Vai for the first time, I want to say about 4 or 5 years ago. I can't remember what song it was, which is kind of devastating. But yeah, I heard For the Love of God. I thought it was really, really cool technically. That was what really, really attracted me to Steve Vai at first. Really, really good technique, especially in the 90s. Phenomenal technique. It was just so liberating. It was so free sounding, you know. It was just an absolute demon, like. But yeah, I heard Steve Vai, and I wasn't obsessed with him yet. At that time, I was still listening to a lot of Slipknot and Korn, sort of the new metal stuff at that point. So I wasn't big into Steve Vai yet at this point. So I want to say about 3 or 4 years ago, right? I started going to college to study music. I'm lucky enough to have made some really, really good friends in there. Great. I want to give a shout out though to the main man himself, Mr. Adam. If he is watching this, he is a legend. I remember seeing this grade book that Adam had. Well, it wasn't a grade book, it was more like a tab book, right? And I remember seeing the art on Passion and Warfare. I'm gonna put a photo of it up because I think it's just badass looking. It's sick. But I remember I just remember something attracted me back to Steve Vai just from seeing that book. It just inspired me. Didn't read it. I didn't even open the book. It's just seeing the cover on it. It just does something to my wee monkey brain. So it did. I was just fired up. I was like, right, I'm gonna listen to this guy again. See if I've missed anything. To say the least, I did. I missed a lot. And you know, ever since then, I have been absolutely obsessed with this guy. His guitar playing. Yeah, like I said, it started off with technique. Really, really into all the cool stuff he was doing. He just made it look so effortless. So he did. And I think that the main thing I learned from Steve Vai was just how important stage presence is as a musician. If you've ever seen any live videos from Steve or any concerts, you'll know what I mean. He is just so elegant. I think for the first time I really seen a musician who was, you know, at one with music. That's how important Steve Vai has been to me as a musician. It also opened my mind up a lot. Well, from the beginning, I'd always been into really emotive music. You know, the thing that always inspired me is just somebody giving their all, no matter what style of music it was. As long as they were giving the emotion, I just loved it, you know. I never thought of that as a guitar player's point of view. It was more of like a front man. But Steve really opened my eyes to that, which was really something special, to say the least. So pretty much I was obsessed with him. And then I want to say about a year ago, I did this little series on Instagram and TikTok where I was playing guitar to I was pretty much trying to play his songs until he replied or commented on one of my videos. Unfortunately, I started these videos whenever I was going into a really bad spot. So unfortunately, they didn't last too long because mental health sort of put that off for a little bit. But even just learning his songs I was only learning snippets of the songs, to be honest. There was a good few that I did learn the whole way through, and that was a really good lesson to have still. But yeah, unfortunately, Mr. Vai did not reply to any of those videos. But I'm not going to give up. Trust me. If you know me, I don't give up. So I'm going to get back to it one of these days. Trust me. But I want to say during that sort of dark place, I found this really, really good YouTube series. And to say the least, I actually think that it changed my life just from seeing those videos. So let's talk about them. During the unreal time of the COVID pandemic, I'm sure you remember that. That was not a great time. But one of the good things that came from that was this series that I'm going to talk about. So basically, Steve Vai did this series. It's called Under It All. It's still on YouTube, so it is. But these were live streams that he did during the COVID pandemic. Everyone was obviously in fear of this scary virus that had just appeared out of nowhere, pretty much shutting the whole world down, pretty much. And Steve Vai, he pretty much did this series on mental health. Unfortunately, I didn't watch these whenever they were first out. But I hope and I'm sure that there was a lot of people inspired by these videos, because he started off talking about his backstory, which I'm going to get into in a wee second. But he also talked a lot about meditation, religion, just positive energy is what he brought from those videos, which were incredible and are incredible still. The amount of times I have watched those videos back, honestly, a lot. I have watched them back so many times, and that is a joy, because I find watching them back, you sort of open your eyes more the more times you watch these videos. So yeah, in the video where he talks about his background, he focuses a lot on his mental struggles. Now, I would recommend you go watch these videos, because I think each episode is about 2 hours long. There's a lot of stuff, and I don't do it justice talking about it. But very briefly, Steve Vai, whenever he was pretty young, he had a big issue with anxiety, which led to depression. For me, was extremely inspiring to hear that somebody who I look up to a lot has similar sort of issues that I was experiencing at that time. The main things that I got out of those videos was how important self-love and meditation is for your health. I talked about this a few weeks back, but I went through a lot of years of counselling. But really hearing that from somebody who's going down a sort of similar career path to me was really inspiring to hear that the meditation and loving yourself can do so much for you. And that was like a light bulb moment for me, just knowing how important that is for you. Because before I had watched those videos, I'm not afraid to say it, but I was almost ashamed to love myself. I don't know what it was about me, but I always had an issue with myself. I always thought I was a worthless little bitch who didn't deserve anything, deserved not to even. It actually got to the point where I didn't feel like I deserved to be on this planet. And I feel like if I stayed in that place, I would not be here today. Just speaking to this camera, I would not be here at all. But I'm telling you right now, the best thing you can do for yourself, not even thinking about music, not even thinking about career or anything on this planet apart from you, the best thing you can do to yourself is love yourself. Even if you just try it once, for 1 minute a day, just telling yourself that it's okay is so important. It really is. Another really big thing that I learned from Steve Vai was the sort of idea of the death of the ego. I've talked about the ego a little bit before, but I think getting the ego under control is another really good thing you can do for yourself. And I learned that the hard way, so I did. I'm lucky enough to understand whenever I am doing this now. But the big issue that I had was actually with jealousy. Seeing all these fantastic guitar players, whether it be in person or whether it be through social media, seeing all that, it can make anyone so jealous and so negative feeling about yourself. But it's about realising the only fight you have in this life is with yourself. So it is. The only thing ever holding you back doing whatever you want to do in this life is you, is the ego, is the negativity, the negative emotion. And Steve Vai really opened my eyes to that, which I thank God for every single day. Seriously. Well, like, I'm not going to talk too much more today. I think that's a lot that anyone can learn from. But the main thing that I have realized from all of this stuff that I've learnt about Steve Vai is it's actually not the music that attracts me to his guitar playing, but it's more about the energy produced from him. I think the music that he created and we're lucky enough to hear today is more of a byproduct from his positive work that he has done. Because if you listen to any of his songs, if you watch any of his videos, you just see the emotion. All of his negative energy was always for good. That I thought. I know that I sound like an absolute Steve Vai glazer right now, and I'm sorry it's coming towards. I'm sorry it's coming out like that. By the minuscule chance that he is watching this video, I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, seriously. But yeah, I will leave the link to that series in the description, because I recommend, even if you're not a guitar player, even if you're a singer, even if you're a fucking carpenter, or not even interested in music, just listen to what this man has to say, because it can really change your life. But yeah, thank you for watching this. I appreciate you listening to me waffle. But yeah, it's meant a lot for you to be here and join me on this episode. I want to thank everyone for all the support in the last episode as well. Very, very kind words again. So I really appreciate everyone who's spreading the kindness and the positivity around, which is nice. It's very nice to see. I said this in the last episode, but if there's anything that you don't agree with me in these videos, that is completely okay. So it is. The thing about me is that I always try to get on with everyone, no matter what their opinion is. So look, if you think I'm an absolute fucking ball bag and doesn't understand the thing, you're probably right on that, to be honest. But this is my opinion. This is what has brought me out of really bad depression, really bad places, and made me the happiest and most confident person that I have been in my life. So yeah, thank you very much, and I'll be back next week. Thank you. Sweet.